COVID pushes people to the edge. Over 5 suicides in 5 weeks alone in India. Doctors say up to 95% of patients recover.
In no way should we have this fear and panic or ostracize anyone.
Is the stigma bigger than the disease? Our top focus on India today.
Hello and welcome. I'm Chaiti Narula. I just want to start off the show by saying that up to 95% of people recover from COVID-19. And if society today continues with that stigma and we collectively do not come forward, we may just land up in a situation where the delay causes higher mortality. Stop the stigma, stop the ostracization. We've got doctors who are joining us. Dr. Hemant Thakkar of Breach Candy Hospital joins us to discuss the stellar recovery rates and how society needs to accept this pandemic in their stride. Dr. Sameer Parekh, independent psychiatrist, also joins us with his insights and tips of how this paradigm shift in the thought process is now the need of the hour, even more than before. And that too across the world, not just in India. But first up, here's a look at the situation that calls for this discussion.
Jalandhar, Shimla, Akola, Mumbai, Bengaluru. COVID-related patients committed suicide. One over the fear of testing positive. One due to social ostracization. One out of suspected guilt.
95% people actually recover fully from the COVID-19 infection. Let us all take a positive approach. Let us understand that we all can easily fight this COVID-19 infection if we all work together and start protecting ourselves and each other.
The ICMR reported approximately 80% of COVID-19 patients exhibit mild symptoms or no symptoms at all, while 15% turn severe and only 5% critical.
Don't be scared, do not worry. A majority of you will be absolutely fine and you will not even know that you have COVID. And for the rest of you, medical treatment has advanced and we are getting newer drugs are coming out, so don't worry. The unique thing about COVID and the novel coronavirus is that this is one of the first times in the history of our existence where we have been so dependent on each other for our well-being, and we're all in it together. So let's stay strong.
We need to share the accurate information about how the virus spreads. We need to speak out against the negative behaviors, and of course we have to be cautious about the images we share in the social media.
This is not a time when you and I need to be looking at blaming, condemning the person who has unfortunately contracted the virus, but let's be accepting, graceful and compassionate towards them.
Knowledge is key. Responsible media narrative is now imperative. In New Delhi, Chaiti Narula for India Today.
Dr. Sameer Parekh, Dr. Hemant Thakkar, appreciate you joining us on this very special broadcast. Very strong message that is going out through this broadcast today to our viewers as well. The stigma we're talking about is real. Dr. Parekh, I'm going to come to you first. Is the stigma today becoming the bigger problem than the disease itself? Do you feel that somewhere society is failing the victims somewhere without realizing that they may well be victims tomorrow? Just look at the people who all of us know about. Boris Johnson, Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, Moranis, all are now back to normal and back in action again. So why this stigma?
Yeah, I think there are multiple reasons behind this. I think one reason being that there is way too much of faulty information, a lot of negative information that's floating around in social media, which is unfiltered. Second, also, what is happening is that somehow the death, the morbidity component is being highlighted so much in social narrative, in media, in our interactions, that what it is doing is people are unnecessarily panicking. And what has happened is that because people are seeing quarantine in a negative way rather than in a positive way, and people are seeing work from home in a very, very negative way, that's why some of these stigma-related behaviors are increasing. And the concern here is that if the stigma goes up, what will happen is you'll have lesser people coming out. And more importantly, the frontline workers' morale, the doctors and paramedics, their morale would also get affected, because the last thing we want as a society is that a doctor is worried about going to work because he or she is unsure that when he or she comes back home, how are the neighbors going to look at it? And this is something which is very important for us.
Absolutely. And, you know, Dr. Hemant Thakkar, who's also very actively working with the COVID-19 patients in the Breach Candy Hospital as well. Dr. Thakkar, don't we all need to take a moment to remember that this is a disease which is not that serious, perhaps. Perhaps it is the stigma that is causing an increase in morbidity and mortality somewhere. And because of the stigma, many patients who have COVID or flu-like symptoms are not even coming forth and forward to healthcare facilities. But when they do, they have ended up seeing stellar recovery, barring a few vulnerable ones, of course, who have complications. And what is this whole attitude around suspected COVID cases? You deal with them day in and day out. You're at the front lines as well. What's been your experience like?
See, Chaiti, history has clearly shown us that anything which is mysterious and invincible, something that you can't see, you can't feel, you can't touch, you can't look at, that is something which becomes a stigma. In the olden years, it used to be tuberculosis. Later years, it became HIV. And now we are in the COVID era. People are panicking. The grey halo around COVID is greater than the disease, as you rightly said. Less than 3 to 4% mortality, 85% asymptomatic, and the interim numbers mildly to moderately symptomatic. But because the social media has created such a big hype, they are looking at their glass 5 to 15% empty and not 85% full. If you are quarantined, your family will be shunned. People will not want you to go in and go out. People will look down upon you. If you have the symptoms and test positive and go to hospital, nobody wants to come to see you. Either they don't want to come to see you or the hospital doesn't permit it. The nurses and the doctors who come, they come in garbs of ghosts, you know, our PPEs. We look very strange. And there is very little interaction. Doctors and nurses and others do not want to spend more time in the same room as the COVID. And then the worst thing is he feels when he goes back, the people in the building, the people in the surrounding are going to look upon him, look down upon him. What we need to do is we have to translate the joy, the victory and the immunity that our patients leave with when they leave the hospital. They don't emerge as COVID survivors, but they emerge as COVID victors. And we at social media, and I'm glad you're doing this program, because everybody talks about lungs and smell and gastric and heart, but nobody talks about mind over body. And this mind over body phenomena is something which we have to all through society percolate to protect everybody, the caregiver and the caretaker.
So, Dr. Thakkar, if you could just give some figures in terms of the kind of recovery that you've seen amidst the patients that you've been treating as well, because you were the first ones to even tell me, why don't you just embrace COVID and look at all these healthcare workers and several different patients as well who have recovered and they are much stronger than ever before, is what you told me offline as well. You must enlighten our viewers, because Dr. Parikh is also of a very strong view that recovery needs to be highlighted. Here we are only highlighting morbidity time and again, but forgetting somewhere that recovery figures are also quite impressive.
So I'll take you back again into history. We have accepted measles and chickenpox. And what do? We give our children and infants a vaccine. Because when we were young, and I'm talking about me, we had chickenpox and we had measles and we outgrew them. So the fight is not against COVID, the fight is with COVID. We will sooner than later have to embrace COVID. We will sooner than later have to live with COVID. This lockdown is not like Cinderella's garb that at midnight everything's going to change and it's going to be all right. The aim of the lockdown is to punctuate the speed of spread. The aim of the lockdown is to downgrade the virulence of the virus. And at that stage, the herd immunity starts picking up as more and more people get infected. You'll find most of your people are asymptomatic positives, which is why the government is saying don't even test them. So a stage will come when we will have to learn to live with COVID. It is only those 5 or 6% or 4 or 5% that get hospitalized. And God has been kind to India, whether it's the BCG, the malaria, God knows what. But the virulent strain which has hit India is of a lower virulence. Our immunity is better, our surroundings, whether because of our amoebiasis, giardiasis, malaria and everything, we have a great T-cell immunity, but we are not seeing so much of mortality. And that's what I want to highlight. Your program, social media, everybody has to say, that's what we need to highlight. We look up the esoteric case and everybody forwards it on WhatsApp. And there is, the problem today is not only the depression which has set in because of quarantine, but the wrong news, the bad news that is going around, and not the good news which is being highlighted, which you are highlighting. So many and most of our patients are going home. It is only the very elderly, and that too with renal, diabetic, heart and other problems that are succumbing, but our numbers are low. We are not in the Italian dilemma, should we ventilate this person or that? Which hospital is scrambling for ventilators? We are not saying we are short of ventilators. Our COVID in India, maybe the heat is helping, who knows? But our COVID in India seems to be on an even keel. We have done well, and we should emphasize that. And a COVID victor is maybe a small step for the community, but a giant leap for his psyche. And that's what we should do. We should probably have COVID victors on show, telling them and telling all of us how they felt when they were in hospital, how strong they feel. They should be symbols of success, and they shouldn't be people as if they were victims. Because one day, when the herd immunity comes in, you will be positive, I will be positive. And I'm hoping that most of us, like the rule, will be asymptomatic positive. So we don't have to worry. COVID will be behind us.
This is going to all sound like music to Dr. Sameer Parikh's ears, because, I was discussing with him so strongly, and I have many chats with him about people committing suicide. What is it that pushes people to the edge, especially when it comes to COVID and stigma as well. And Dr. Parikh has always been of the strong opinion that it is the narrative that society needs to change to be able to bring about that kind of paradigm shift in the mindset so that the stigmatization stops. And that is how we can perhaps prevent these suicides. I'm going to throw straight across to you, Dr. Parikh, to enlighten our viewers on that entire phenomenon that you keep talking about.
See, what does stigma do? Stigma has multiple repercussions. One, people who should be going to doctors will not go to doctors. Doctors and medical staff who have to do treatment will be hesitant in doing it. The social interdependence, which actually can improve and is improving, will actually worsen again. Today, when we collectively come together, whether it is to light a diya or whether it is to clap to the doctors, it brings social cohesiveness. That social cohesiveness that's broken up, the moment you say that out of these 20 floor building of mine, 3 of them you put a cross there and you try to avoid them. That starts a vicious cycle of individualism. And like what Dr. Thakur was saying, what some of the other people just mentioned, let's be very clear. You beat COVID by collectivism. There is no better example in mankind's history than COVID of how interdependent, interconnected we are. So if we don't utilize this, we have a trouble on our hands. And that's why, a show like this that you are doing, thank you, India Today, right? Because as a mental health professional, I feel very, very passionate about the fact that it's our responsibility, yours as responsible media, mine as a healthcare worker, that we ensure that a pandemic, which is a physical pandemic, does not become a social or a mental epidemic in months or years to come. So you highlight positivity. So what you do is you highlight success stories. I really like that idea of Dr. Thakur. Get people who've survived on your show regularly. Highlight the numbers in a way that you start with recovery, you end with death, you even break it into parts and talk about which one happened because of comorbidity, like what was being just said about. And you also consistently highlight the altruism that's happening. There are so many people who are reaching out and helping and supporting people. You highlight those stories and then you bring it together. And if we lose an individual to any self-harm in this, talk about the loss. Talk about that, how sad it is that it was 10 days, 15 days away and the recovery was around the corner. So there's a family, there is a social network, there are relatives, there are work colleagues. All of them have gone through a loss because we as a society failed to tell an individual, hey, this is going to pass and we will see you in the same way. Let's be clear, it's not my fault if tomorrow I turn COVID positive.
Absolutely.
If it's not mine, it's not yours, it's nobody's. So we need to highlight social responsibility. I also feel role models are celebrities, sports stars, film personalities. They need to really bombard all kinds of places where they exist, whichever social media they exist, to keep on giving positive messages, including, let's say, when they are working from home. Give an example. Share quarantine is a fine thing. Talk about the fact that what they are doing. If the collective narrative becomes positive, we'll drown the negativity. When the negativity will drown, social cohesiveness will come up. And my thought is, maybe mankind 2.0 version post-COVID will be a better place to live with more empathy, more compassion, more cohesiveness. It's a way we look at it.
So somewhere, why is it, Dr. Parikh, that we see people in society turning villains? Pushing people over the edge. There's so much of ostracization that we see. Even when somebody tests COVID positive, there's a lot of hullabaloo even in the building societies that we've seen. And I've heard this firsthand from certain COVID patients on conditions of anonymity as to how their parents were harassed, how their relatives were harassed, how they were harassed. They were threatened to be thrown out. In some cases, there was physical violence that was alleged. Why? Why is society behaving like this? Because Dr. Thakkar also just mentioned, tomorrow all of us, not all, but most of us might end up getting it when herd immunity sets in.
See, so there are two sides to it, Chaiti. I don't think everybody is being like this. I think some people are. Unfortunately, they are getting more space in the narrative, which needs to be reduced. There are a lot many more who are being very altruistic and responsible as well. But those who are getting stereotypical, having discriminatory behavior, are stigmatizing people, are also people who are misinformed. And that's where all our collective role again comes. You keep giving the right information that you and I can both get it. And in all likelihood, we will be out of it without any problems. We might actually continue working and not have any problem like most others. So we need to ensure that correct community channels continue to happen. I've been seeing some of your shows where you've been doing those fact-finding episodes.
Yes.
Do a lot more of that because there is so much of fiction that's in media. Keep doing that. Keep doing that, and people need to realize, you want information, go to this place. You want information which is healthy, correct, go to this source. It is this kind of approach that needs to be strengthened, and frankly, media needs to look at how its reportage and narrative is, and celebrities and role models need to be counted for, them to shout at the top of their voices and, get positivity in our narrative.
Absolutely. And Dr. Thakkar, you were the first doctor I ever spoke to, and I mentioned this again for a reason, about embracing COVID. I just want to ask, how long can we all run? How long can we all hide? At some point, we will have to face it all together as society, because you just mentioned in, a little earlier on the show as well, that most of us might end up even getting it. So this stigma is just so unnecessary, and this ostracization is just so redundant at this point of time. So much so that you must give a message to our viewers as well, because this is pushing a lot of people to the edge. Over 5 suicides in India in 5 weeks itself is not a joke. And they're all related to COVID.
I think what Dr. Parikh has said is right. And I put the blame squarely on social media, which kept highlighting all the negatives and did not look at the positives. You know, to begin with, they made it like a leprosy, achut, untouchable. If the building has 2 people, nobody wants to look at them. Nobody wants to have them in the building. Nobody wants to give them milk, bread, butter. But this is something which we have to educate. Even the educated did not realize. And again, it is because we blew up the 3 to 5% and we kept showing the problems which Italy and Europe are having. But look at the other numbers which have no problems. And I think sooner than later we need to come to terms. You can have a show where every 14 days or every 8 days that the patient spends in the hospital, you can have 1 day in the life of a COVID patient. You can have a show where he or she talks on this. And it is personal experiences of this nature which make people realize. It's going for a tough exam. You sweat and you swat. But after you've done the exam, you come out smiling and say, oh, it was easy. That does not mean that you do not adopt the distancing and you do not adopt the civil obedience measures, because the disease has to be fought with that kind of measures. But you have to downplay, which is actually the truth. You have to bring down the scare, the grey halo, and the grim fact is that only 3 to 4% die, the others don't. And they die if their diabetes is under control, if they have uncontrolled heart problems. So remain positive. Our doctors are doing everything. And there's, I've still got just now 7 or 8 patients admitted. I have a mother and a granddaughter and grandmother, and they're going home tomorrow. Today is the 12th day. The grandmother is 86 years old, the granddaughter is 30. And they're both going home very well. So let me talk about the people who are going home rather than the numbers that died. See how many recovered, see how many were asymptomatic, and see how few died. And if you look at the number of people that die in a road accident, or if you look at the number of people that die because of heart attacks, they are more than the COVID patients. But we have built a halo, a grey halo around it. You've made the disease, the fear of the disease larger than the disease itself. And this is where, and you know, this fright which has come in is not only for the patients, but also of the negative patients. The negative patients, even if they have a few symptoms, they don't want to address them. They don't want to tell their relatives. They don't want to tell their doctors. Probably the one reason why in Maharashtra we have a little higher mortality is because patients come too late to the doctor. They keep suppressing their symptoms because they are worried that if I tell the symptoms early, my house people, the people around me will all shun me. And I'll be
So, you know, it's more imperative at this point, Dr. Thakkar, for you to highlight how resilient have the patients been who you have treated for COVID as well. What is the kind of, just encapsulate very quickly as to how resilient they've been, their road to recovery has been strong. Are they fit and fine and back to normal at the moment as we speak or not?
Absolutely, except for weakness. And you should see the smile on their face. They can't see emotions on our face because we are wearing a cap and a mask and a gown. But the smile on their face, and they're so nice. They tell you, it's okay, doctor, you don't have to come so close to me and examine me. I'm well today. My cough is better. I have eaten. I know I have to spend 10 to 12 days till my throat swab becomes negative. It's all right. I am well. So you have to see the positive thinking attitude of most of our patients. It is only those patients who are aimed at and made victims of social ostracization that they feel low, they don't want to eat. And our job, in as much as to medicate them, is to pep them up. We've had to keep doing that. Your family is waiting. Everybody will take you back. You have won a victory. This is a big hurdle which Indian society, more than Western society, because we are not as literate, and I'm afraid some of our literate people also misbehave or intolerate. So this is a hurdle which we will need to cross, and we will need to cross gracefully You can't do it at the point of a gun. It has to be steering the emotions from the bottom of your
Absolutely.
heart, and the humanity has to be shared.
Absolutely. And one last word before we wrap up. Closing thoughts, Dr. Sameer Parekh, few pointers on government intervention, media intervention, influencer intervention. Where do you stand on that so that, we see some sort of a plausible solution inside a society?
I think the first thing we need to understand is you win a pandemic not by individuals or individualism. You win it by social cohesiveness, social responsibility, social collectivism, altruism, empathy, which is what all of us need to do. Media needs to make its reportage positive, yet ensure people follow guidelines. Government needs to continue to keep the messaging on, get people to respond, but not just in terms of safety, but also in terms of compassion. Role models, media personalities, social media influencers, please speak up, make the narrative positive. And let all of us focus on facts and empathy. I've been talking about these things. If I have a role to play, my role is stay productive, stay positive, stay connected. You do that and we'll fight it.
Oh yes, such a nice way of ending this. We'll all fight it together. There is no need to stigmatize these patients. There is no need to ostracize these patients. There is no need for us as society to put any of these patients over the edge. We don't want to see any more bad stories like this. Let's focus on the recovery numbers as well. I thank you very much for your time and your insights, Dr. Thakur and Dr. Sameer Parekh, for joining us on this broadcast.
Good luck.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.